Commander Sarah Chen stood at the viewport of the ESS Hawking, watching stars streak past in brilliant lines of blue. The deep space exploration vessel had been her home for the past 3 years, pushing the boundaries of known space. But nothing in her extensive training had prepared her for what was about to happen. "Commander," Lieutenant Rodriguez's voice crackled over the comm. "We're picking up an unusual signal. Well, you should see this yourself." Sarah made her way to the bridge, her magnetic boots kicking against the metal floor. The bridge crew hunched over their stations, faces illuminated by the soft glow of holographic displays. "Show me," she ordered, and Rodriguez projected the signal analysis onto the main screen. The waveform pulsed with an unmistakable pattern, deliberate, mathematical, intelligent. "It's not one of ours," Rodriguez confirmed. "The signature doesn't match any known human frequencies. And look at this." He highlighted a section of the data. "It's repeating prime numbers, but using a base 12 system." Sarah's heart raced. After centuries of searching the stars, humanity might finally have found what they were looking for. Source: about 3 light-hours out, coming from the surface of HD 40,000, 307 grams. "The super-Earth we were headed to survey," Sarah mused. "Helm, adjust course. Communications, keep monitoring that signal. And someone wake up Dr. Harrison. Our xenolinguist is about to earn her pay." As they approached the planet, the signal grew stronger. Dr. Harrison worked tirelessly with the ship's AI to decode more of the message. "It's definitely a distress call," she reported. "There are repeated patterns consistent with emergency protocols, even if we don't understand the language yet." The planet loomed before them, a massive blue-green sphere twice Earth's size. Surface scans revealed the signal's origin, a crash site in a valley between towering mountains of purple-hued crystal. "Life support readings?" Sarah asked. "Faint but present," the sensor operator reported. "There's some kind of structure, partially buried in the crystals. Definitely artificial." Sarah made her decision. "Prep the shuttle. I'll lead the ground team myself." The descent was turbulent, the planet's heavy gravity and dense atmosphere buffeting the shuttle. They landed a safe distance from the crash site, and Sarah led her team out in their environmental suits. The air was technically breathable, but loaded with unfamiliar compounds they weren't ready to trust. The crashed vessel was like nothing they'd ever seen. A spiraling structure that seemed to be grown rather than built, its surface covered in geometric patterns that shifted in the light. As they approached, a section of the hull rippled and became transparent, revealing a chamber beyond. Inside they found them, the Nexarians. Crystalline beings that stood 3 meters tall, their bodies composed of interlocking geometric shapes that pulse with internal light. Most lay still, their light dimmed, but one still glowed brightly. It moved toward them with surprising grace despite its apparent damage. The being raised what Sarah assumed was an appendage, touching it to the transparent barrier between them. Geometric patterns flowed across the surface, and suddenly Sarah's suit computer began translating. "I am Kirill, third resonator of the Nexarian exploration vessel Harmonic Cascade. We require assistance. Our ship's core matrix is fractured." Sarah stepped forward, placing her hand against the barrier opposite Kirill's. "I am Commander Sarah Chen of the Earth spaceship Hawking. We're here to help." The crystalline being's lights pulsed in what Sarah would later learn was their equivalent of relief. "You are carbon-based," Kirill observed. "We had theorized such life was possible, but this is our first confirmation. Your response to our distress signal demonstrates both intelligence and compassion. Perhaps there is hope for understanding between our peoples." That's why we're out here, Sarah replied. To understand, to learn, to help where we can. She gestured to her team. Let us examine your ship's systems. Maybe we can find a way to repair the damage. As her engineers began working with Kirill to assess the Nexarian vessel, Sarah felt the weight of history on her shoulders. This wasn't just a rescue mission anymore. It was humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. Everything that happened next would shape the relationship between their species. The sun set on HT 40,000, 307 grams, casting the crystal mountains in deep purple shadows. The Nexarian ship glowed from within like a fallen star, while the lights of the human shuttle stood steady nearby. Two species, born light years apart, now worked together under alien stars. It was just the beginning. The initial euphoria of first contact quickly gave way to urgent practicality. Sarah watched as her engineers worked alongside Kirill to assess the Nexarian ship's damage. The crystalline being projected holographic schematics into the air, geometric patterns that twisted in impossible ways. Your vessel's construction is unlike anything we've seen, Sarah noted. It's almost organic. The harmonic cascade is grown, not assembled, Kirill explained, lights pulsing in complex patterns. Our ships are living crystals, cultivated over decades to achieve resonance with spacetime itself. The crash damaged our core matrix, what you might call our engine. Before Sarah could respond, proximity alarms blared from both human and Nexarian systems. Lieutenant Rodriguez's voice crackled over the comm. Commander, we've got multiple objects entering atmosphere. They're not ours, and they're not matching Nexarian signatures either. Through her suit's enhanced vision, Sarah watched as 6 sleek, predatory-looking craft descended through the purple clouds. Their design was aggressive, all sharp angles and weapon ports. Scavengers. Kirill's translation came through with unmistakable dread. The Kresh. They follow distress signals, strip crashed ships, and sell the technology. They care nothing for the survival of the crew. Not on my watch, Sarah stated firmly. Rodriguez, get the Hawking in position. Defensive pattern Delta. Ground team, defensive positions around the harmonic cascade. The Kresh ships landed in a circle around them, and armored figures emerged, bipedal but with too many joints, their movements unnaturally quick. Their leader stepped forward, voice translating through their universal systems as a harsh screech. This wreck is claimed. The technology is ours by right of salvage. Leave now, soft ones, or be classified as salvage yourselves. Sarah stepped forward, positioning herself between the Kresh and the Nexarian ship. This vessel is under Earth Space Service protection. These are not ruins to be salvaged. There are living beings aboard requiring assistance. Stand down. The Kresh leader made a sound like grinding metal. You are outnumbered, outgunned. Your ship in orbit cannot help you without risking damage to the surface. Last warning. You're wrong about being outgunned, Sarah replied calmly. She gestured, and hidden panels in their shuttle opened, revealing automated defense turrets. And you're definitely wrong about being alone. The Nexarian ship's surface rippled, and crystalline structures emerged, humming with energy. Quill stepped forward to stand beside Sarah, towering over both human and Kresh. Our weapons systems remain functional, Scavenger. Leave or face the combined might of 2 species. The Kresh leader assessed the situation, mandibles clicking. Sarah knew they were calculating odds, weighing risk versus reward. She kept her voice level. There's another option. Help us repair their ship. Fair payment for fair work. Everyone benefits. For a tense moment, no one moved. Then the creche leader lowered their weapon. "Your offer is unexpected. The soft ones usually shoot first." "Then you've been meeting the wrong soft ones." Sarah smiled behind her visor. "Now, shall we discuss terms?" What followed was one of the strangest repair operations in human history. Nexarian crystalline technology, human engineering ingenuity, and creche salvage expertise combined in ways none of them had imagined possible. Grill's people shared their understanding of crystal matrix engineering, while the creche revealed their extensive knowledge of various species technologies. As they worked, Sarah noticed something remarkable. The initial tensions melted away as each group discovered the other's unique strengths. The creche's notorious speed and precision proved invaluable for delicate repairs. Human adaptability helped bridge gaps between vastly different technological approaches, and the Nexarians' deep understanding of their living ships guided it all. Perhaps, Kirill observed as they watched the three species work together, there are more ways to resonate than we knew. Your species surprises us, Commander Chen. Where we expected conflict, you created cooperation. It's what humans do best, Sarah replied. We adapt. We find connections. Sometimes all it takes is showing people a better way is possible. The harmonic cascades core matrix was finally stabilizing, its glow strengthening. The creche received their payment in shared knowledge and salvage rights to specific non-essential systems. And humanity had gained not one but two new potential allies. As the repairs neared completion, Sarah realized this incident would change everything. It wasn't just about saving one ship anymore. They had proven that different species, despite vast differences in biology, technology, and culture, could work together. It was a small step, but a crucial one, toward a more connected galaxy. News of the successful first contact spread quickly across Earth's colonies. The Hawking became a hub of diplomatic activity, with Sarah's crew facilitating exchanges between humans, Nexarians, and even the reformed creche contingent. Kirill's people sent additional ships, their crystalline vessels creating spectacular light shows as they emerged from faster-than-light travel. The cultural exchange proved as challenging as it was fascinating. Human scientists struggled to understand beings who experienced time through crystalline resonance patterns. The Nexarians, in turn, found human emotions bewildering yet intriguing. Kirill spent hours questioning Sarah about concepts like humor and music. Your species generates vibrations for pleasure, Kirill observed during one such discussion in the ship's observation lounge. Yet these songs follow mathematical patterns similar to our resonance matrices. Sarah pulled up a holographic display of Earth's classical music. Music is mathematics made beautiful. Here, let me show you something. She played Bach's cello suite No. 1. This was composed centuries ago, but it still moves us today. To her amazement, Kirill's crystalline form began to vibrate in harmony with the music, creating an ethereal counterpoint that transformed the piece into something entirely new. Other crew members stopped to listen, drawn by the otherworldly duet. The breakthrough came when Dr. Harrison discovered that Nexarian crystal technology could be adapted to enhance human communication systems. Meanwhile, human quantum computing provided new insights into Nexarian resonance patterns. Each species filled gaps in the other's understanding of the universe. But not everyone welcomed these developments. A faction of human isolationists argued against sharing technology with living rocks. Some Nexarian elders feared their culture would be corrupted by exposure to ephemeral beings. The creche, despite their help during the rescue, were still viewed with suspicion by many. Sarah found herself navigating increasingly complex diplomatic waters. During a particularly tense meeting, she addressed representatives from all three species. Our differences are real, but they're not barriers. They're bridges waiting to be built. Look at what we've already accomplished together. She gestured to a holographic display showing their combined achievements: new medical treatments using crystal resonance, enhanced space drive technology, and more efficient resource extraction methods that preserve native environments. Each of us brings something unique to this partnership, she continued. Human adaptability, Nexarian harmony with the universe, Kresh technical expertise. Apart, we're strong. Together, we're extraordinary. Krill moved forward, their crystalline form casting rainbow patterns across the chamber. Commander Chen speaks truth. My people have existed for millennia, yet in mere months of cooperation with humans and Kresh, we have grown in ways we never imagined possible. The Kresh representative, named Skatai, added their perspective. We were scavengers, taking what others lost. Now we build, create. The soft ones and crystal singers show us better paths. As the meeting concluded successfully, Sarah reflected on how far they'd come from that first emergency landing. The galaxy was changing, not through conquest or competition, but through collaboration and mutual understanding. Later, walking through the Hawkins corridors with Kirill, Sarah paused to watch a group of human children from the colony listening to a Nexarian elder explain crystal growth patterns. The children's eyes widened as tiny crystals formed in the air before them, dancing like snowflakes. They don't see differences anymore, Sarah noted. They just see wonders. Perhaps, Kirill resonated thoughtfully, that is the greatest bridge we can build, through the eyes of those who come after us. The Hawkins long-range sensors detected another unknown signal, reminiscent of their first encounter with the Nexarians. But this time, they weren't facing the unknown alone. Three civilizations, once strangers, now stood ready to face the galaxy's mysteries together. A new era of exploration and cooperation had begun, and Sarah Chen was proud to be at its forefront. The universe, it seemed, had bigger plans than any of them had imagined. A simple translation error nearly undid months of diplomatic progress. During a routine technology exchange, a human phrase about breaking through barriers was mistranslated to Nexarian High Command as shattering core matrices, their equivalent of threatening genocide. The Nexarian ships in orbit immediately shifted to defensive positions. Their crystalline hulls pulsed with dangerous energy. Earth's defense forces responded in kind, reading the sudden movement as aggression. Sarah got the alert while meeting with Kirill in the harmonic cascade's newly repaired central chamber. Something's wrong, she said, watching Kirill's normally smooth light patterns turn jagged. The fleet. Our warriors prepare for battle, Kirill interrupted, their voice resonating with distress. The High Resonance believes humans plan to destroy us. They'd ordered preemptive strikes on your colonies. Sarah's mind raced. It's a mistranslation. It has to be. Krill, you know us. Would we really threaten you after everything? Krill's lights flickered uncertainly. No, but the High Resonance has activated the battle frequencies. Once begun, they cannot easily be stopped. Then we stop them together, Sarah declared. She opened a channel to both fleets simultaneously, broadcasting in all languages. This is Commander Chen. Hold your fire. We have a translation error, That. Multiple weapons powered up in response. The situation was spiraling. But Sarah had one last idea. She turned to Kirill. The music. Show them what you showed me. Understanding flickered through Kirill's crystalline form. Together, they accessed the ship's communications array. The sound of Bach's cello suite filled space, but this time enhanced by Nexarian crystalline harmonics. The melody carried mathematical proof of harmony between their species. Weapon ports began to close. The music spoke a language both species understood, one of mathematics, beauty, and possibility. In the end, what could have been their greatest crisis became their strongest affirmation of unity. 5 years after first contact, Sarah stood before the newly constructed Interstellar Cooperation Center on Mars. The building itself was a marvel of combined engineering. Human architecture merged with Nexarian crystal technology and Kresh adaptive systems. Krill, now Earth's primary Nexarian ambassador, towered beside her. "Did you imagine this outcome when you answered our distress call, Commander Chen?" "Not even close," Sarah smiled. "But that's humanity's specialty, adapting to the unexpected." The center would serve as a hub for technological and cultural exchange between species. Already, breakthroughs in medicine, space travel, and environmental restoration were transforming all their civilizations. More importantly, it represented hope. Hope that different species could not only coexist, but thrive together. Hope that the universe's vast differences could become its greatest strengths. As the inauguration ceremony began, Sarah watched human children playing with young Nexarians, their laughter mixing with crystalline chimes. The next generation would grow up, knowing they were part of something larger than any single species. The stars above held new promise now, not just of exploration, but of connection. Together, they would face whatever mysteries the galaxy held next. End.